Hi guys, welcome back to another episode in Android. I will teach you how to add a device to your Android Studio right now. You go here and select Troubleshoot Device Connections, and you must connect your device to the USB port and press Scan Devices. An Android Studio will show your device and you can press Next. And after that you must go to Settings and System and About Phone and tap the build number 7 times. And even enable development options inside your phone. After enabling development options inside your phone, you must press Next. And our device will be added after pressing Finish. Alright, now I'll show you another cool thing. You must go to Settings in File, and here we have given the theme IntelliJ Lite as the theme for our Android Studio. It's a very light theme. If you want a dark theme, you can go to Dark EULA and press Apply and press OK. Alright, I'll change it back to IntelliJ Lite, and after that you can even add the picture to your Android Studio. So in appearance you must go to background image, and here you must select an image. You can select an image and press OK, and after that you can press OK again to apply your image. How cool is that? I wonder if you can put many images to our Android Studio view. Now I'll show you some other cool stuff. We have our main activity.java connected with the main activity main.xml file. Inside it we see our constraint layout here. Constraint layout is the default layout of the Android programming world. Here you have specified some values for our constraint layout, and after that there is a text view placed inside our constraint layout. What happens here? Let's check it out. First you can see that there is a text view called Hello World that shows Hello World inside our Android Studio app look. Here you can see that there are there are constraints attached to our Hello World text view. What does this do? First, here in the vertical constraint, this pulls the widget or the text view towards the top. That's what this does. And the bottom one pulls the text view towards the bottom, and the right and the left ones pull the widget or the text view towards the left and the right. That's what these do. That's what constraints do. If you want to delete a constraint, you can press Ctrl and press over the button like feature in the component of the text view. After doing that, you can see that our text view was pulled down towards the bottom of the application. So that means we have just deleted a constraint of our text view. I'll change it back. So you see here that we must give constraints to our application. Let's remove all the constraints and see what happens. You press on the Hello World text view and press Ctrl and press on them 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now all of the constraints have been removed. Now we can see that an error has appeared inside our XML file. Let's see what the error is. This says this view is not constrained. It only has design time positions. So that means in Android we have to specify at least two constraints from vertical to horizontal for a text view or widget inside the layout of our application. That's what this says here as the error. So here I'll teach you a wonderful thing. What you see here as tools provide versioning of provide attributes to the application but not to the application when run on the device. Tools show attributes that show only in the Android Studio web view. That's what the tools does. If you put the tools inside a widget, that means you are modifying your device look in the Android Studio and not in the device. So here tools layout editor absolute X depicts the value of the layout in the x-axis, and after that the tools layout editor absolute Y shows the layout in the y-axis. So this does not change your device look when we run the application. It only changes the look of the device components inside the Android Studio view only. So I'll remove this, and now I'll teach you how to add some constraints inside the XML file. If you want to add a constraint to the top of your text view, you say C and type top and type top again. So it shows you apply layout constraint top to top. So we can press it and we can give it a value called parent. Now you see that a constraint has been given to the top of the text view. After that you can type C again and say be a bottom and again bottom, so that you can add the constraint to the bottom of your text field. So after pressing that we can select parent. Now our widget went into the middle of the application view. Now again we will say C right and again right, and for the constraint we will give it a parent. Now you can see that a right constraint has been added, and again let's say C left and again left, and we can give the left constraint with the value parent. Now our text view has 4 constraints attached to it after giving these values inside our text field. Now we'll learn some other things. We'll go to the design here and we'll drag a button right under the Hello World text view. You must remember always that you must give at least one constraint for the vertical layout and one constraint to the horizontal layout for every widget or view that we make inside our design. So here I'll remove the tool values, and here first of all I'll give a constraint to the top bottom, and here we must give ID. We must give a ID for both the text view to do that. Here we'll type ID and we'll give the text view the ID txt1, and for the button also we'll give ID called btn1, and after that inside the buttons layout constraint top to bottom we must give the ID of the text view, that is txt1. Whoa, how fascinating is that? Just as we did that, the button went just right under the hello world text view. And after that we'll have another constraint to the left and again to the left, and this time we'll also give it the value txt1, and another value will be given to the constraint will be given to the right, and we'll give the ID txt1. Alright, now we have placed a button right under our hello world text view. We can do this like to other widgets also, other views also. Alrighty, now we'll try to develop a little application for the first use throughout this course. For that, first of all, we'll go to design view again and we'll drag down two buttons, and after that we'll go inside our split design view and we'll give some IDs for our buttons. For the first button we'll give the ID plus, and for the second button we'll give the ID minus, and for the third button we'll give the ID reset. And now we'll remove these tools from both the newest buttons, and in here we'll try to constrain them just after the plus button and the text view. First of all we'll go to button minus and we'll say C top bottom and provide the ID button plus, and after that we'll have other constraints. We say C right off and provide the plus button ID, and another we'll provide C left of left and provide the plus button ID. Now we'll take the other button, the reset button, just under the minus button. For that we'll have another constraint here saying constraint top bottom and provide the ID minus, and after that we'll have a constraint for the top bottom left as minus, ID minus, and after that we'll have another constraint right as ID minus. Alright, now we'll give some names for these buttons. The text can be changed inside our button views. Here we'll give the text as plus, and here we'll give the text as minus, and here we'll give the text as reset. Okay, we have designed our application right now, and here for the hello world we'll give the text 0, and we'll give a size for our text size for our text view. We'll give the text size as text size as 20 sp, and we'll give alignment, text alignment as center, and we'll change the text size again to 30 this time, so a little bigger text will be shown. And after that we'll give the height for this as 36. Alright, now we have made the look for our application which we are gonna build and code next. Alrighty, now let's go to our main activity, and after extends app compact activity we say private text view, and we'll give it the value txt. And after that we'll have a private button plus, minus and reset, all the buttons that we made inside our and activity main, and we'll give this inside the onCreate. We say txt equals to find view by id. Find view by id is used to get the view by its id inside our methods and inside our application. We say r.id.txt1, and after that we'll say plus equals to find view by id r.id.plus, and next we'll say minus equals to find view by id r.id.minus, and finally we'll have the reset button. We'll say reset equals to find view by id r.id.reset. Okay, we have just made the buttons and the text view inside our code. Alrighty, now we'll have some functions for our plus, minus and reset buttons. We'll say plus dot set on click listener, and inside it we'll give new, and Android Studio automatically shows you the listener. We'll say view dot on click listener, and when we press it, the onClick method gets overridden inside our code. And after that we'll have a int value. We'll say int counter and make it equals to txt dot get text dot to string. Even though we have given this like this, an error came up. So to remove the error, we'll click on the bulb icon and say change variable counter. No, we'll wrap it using integer.parseInt. Now the error is gone and we have created a counter. After that we'll say counter and increment. And after that we'll select the text and we'll set the text inside the text to counter plus concatenation. Alright. After that we'll do the same for the minus button. We'll say minus dot set on click new listener, new view dot on click listener, and we'll first copy this and paste it here, and we'll decrement the counter. when we run this code, we'll find out that if the counter decrements till after 0, minus values will be there. To avoid that, we say if counter not equals to 0, and we place the if block in here. First we'll cut this from here and paste it here. Now we have made the minus function. Now it's the time to make the reset function. You say reset dot set on click listener and new view dot on click listener, and in here we will give the txt dot set text and we will pass the value 0. Now we have made the functions for our little application to plus, minus and reset values. Alrighty, if we want to print out a message when we use a view and click something, we can have a toast for that. A toast can be made like this. Toast dot, we give the method make text, and here we must first pass the context as main activity dot this, and then the value counter plus concat, and toast dot length short must be given. The length short is the duration in which toast dot length short is the duration in which the toast will be shown. If it's short, it will show for a shorter period, and if it's long, it will show for a longer period. So we can give either short or long. We will give short here. So after that we say show. Alright, now we'll copy this and paste it right under the minus counter also. And that's it. We have made an application successfully, and we will now proceed to the next step in this lesson. Alrighty, now we have made our application. We need to run it right now. For that we must go here and press on this run app button. After the application gets built, I will come and see you again. Alrighty, what we see here is our little application. Here we can increment our 0 by pressing plus. We can press plus and change the value. We can increment the value of our value. We can decrement it by pressing the minus button, and we can press plus and minus to change the value of inside our text view. If we want to reset it, we can press reset. It makes the value go back to 0. So we can increment and decrement, and we can reset our application. So that's the little application that we built so far. So I hope you got a clear knowledge about the things we did here in this lesson. So this is the end for today's lesson, and I'll see you in another lesson another time. Until then, goodbye guys, and please take care.